Okay. So as I said, this is a 30-minute session, and I'm just gonna go through a few talking points, a few changes, and then really just open it up for questions, so that you all have a chance to ask us some questions. So my name is Augusta Isley. I'm a senior proposal manager with sponsored projects and the RIA program manager, for lack of a better term. And I'm joined with my colleagues, Melissa Jackson. She is a grant manager here to provide moral support and understanding of financial systems that I do not have. And Linda Schwartz is the sponsored project administrative coordinator and probably very familiar to some of you as fielding a lot of those first questions about RIAs and also opening and closing them. So what is an RIA? An RIA is just a specialized account that holds incentive funds for employees. And so lots of different programs on campus are allowed or authorized to deposit incentive funds into these accounts. And then I say faculty, but it's not just faculty. That can be professional personnel as well. And they receive incentive payments for things like immersive learning, faculty learning communities, skills infusion, residual funds from grants, indirect cost recovery, the Office of Inclusive Excellence provides stipends. So there are just a number of programs that deposit funds into these accounts, and sponsored projects is just the guardian of said accounts. We open them, we close them. I say we, Linda opens them, Linda closes them, and then we field questions on allowable costs. But really they are university accounts, and so they follow university expenditure policy. As simple as that. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick to where do I, the green one. So on our website, which is just bsu.edu/FPA, under outreach and education, I have created a research incentive accounts page that holds a lot of information specifically about the research incentive accounts. Formerly, it was sort of all jumbled up underneath the submit program, but research incentive accounts are a totally separate thing. And submit is just one of the many programs that deposits funds into the research incentive accounts. So, so basically all of the same information that I just discussed is in this top area. I will come back to these two updates in just a minute. Under research incentive account use guidance, I've linked many of the policies that govern what's allowable for purchases, and then some examples about allowable RIA expenses and then unallowable RIA expenses. The question has definitely come up recently about personal use items. If these funds are designed, so these accounts are designed to support scholarly activity. So that's publishing, that's student wages, that's supplies, incentives for research subjects, graduate assistants, and like if they amass enough, they could get like a course release, a time buyout for their scholarly work as approved by their department chair. And so the personal use items would be like, hey, I really need a new computer to work on things at home. Like that's probably not appropriate. But like a new workstation would be, that's for work, that's for scholarly activity, not your own personal use. So I'm sure that I think I've talked to some of you when there is a question about like what is an allowable purchase. You can always contact us to just check if it seems a little suspect, or like you're not really sure, it maybe rides the line. Feel free to contact us and we can help talk through that process. One of the big questions that we always get is, do RIA funds expire? No, not really, but we do want, these are university funds, and the purpose of them is to spur activity. And so we want employees with RIAs to use the funds and not sit on them. I liken some to what is that, Smog in the Lord of the Rings, where he's like sitting on his pile of gold. Like, we don't want that. We want them to like spend the money, make it work. And so that's why we've sort of requested this, like each year there should be some kind of activity. And with that, so I'll go back up here to a couple of the changes that have recently, they're modifications, not really changes, to the program is an official form for requesting an exemption to roll over your funds. And so, over COVID, we did suspend recouping the funds because obviously you can't travel, everything sort of slowed down. It was a big deal, but now there's, the ability to travel and do more things and get out. So, but we also understand that like a lot of conferences and things have still been delayed. And so we put a form together to like request an official exemption so that then we have that documented and we can provide a date, like an exemption date as to, okay, you've requested it this November and you have 1 year from that time. We are still working on how to communicate that to the admins, because obviously you are all very important to help us help them with RIAs to actually spend their money. And the second item is the RIA use authorization. So as I mentioned, lots of programs put in funds into these accounts, and we just wanted to have our arms around who it was, because like who's putting money into those accounts and who would be the most appropriate contact. We do get questions about, oh, so, and I did a faculty learning community and I just want to know if I got my funds. Well, in one case recently, that person never received their funds, but I didn't know who to talk to about that. And so, then 17 bajillion emails later, we finally figured it out. But, to cut back on that, like search and find situation, I just wanted to have a better handle on who was putting money in and what those contacts were, to sort of streamline that process. So that's all those two items are. Probably the biggest change that, and again, it's not really a change, it's just a modification to the program. Zach Mickler from the controller's office has been so wonderful to work with, and has helped us put some processes in place to better, again, have a handle on the accounts. And one of the things that he was able to do was create a balance email that will, starting in January, go out to the faculty or the RIA holders, that just gives them their balance and their fund code. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it so that it would send to the admins as well. It only sends to the ID number attached to the account. But it is just a very basic email that gives them their balance. And so this is basic. This is a draft. This is what it may look like. And I'm thinking of tweaking some of the language there, but to include something that's like, please discuss with your admins about how to purchase things or something like that. Still working on it, but as you can see, it's just a very simple email that says like, this is your balance and this is your fund number. Those are the two biggest questions that we always get is how much money do I have? And I don't know what my account number is. So as I said, that will start in January and then be like a monthly thing. And we're gonna start this now and see what kind of feedback we get on it, and then modify as needed. Additionally, soon to that web page that I showed you, there are a number of FAQs, but I will be adding a best practices and an email template as resources for those other programs that deposit money into the RIAs, so that there's more like guardrails for those that are depositing money into the account, so that they have like they are telling the employees that, hey, this is the money that you're getting for this purpose, and this is how much, and here's your fund code. Again, here's your fund code. And so, like I said, I'm still drafting those, and I hope to have them up probably before break for sure. And then I will communicate that back out to those contacts that have filled out that authorization form, so that they have that for their use. And now I am going to stop talking. And Melissa, did you have any additional items before I just kind of open it up for questions?
Sure, I'll just speak for a couple of moments. Just a little background on me. Almost 8 years ago, I came to Ball State University as an admin coordinator. So I'm speaking to all of you right now very heartfeltly that I remember just being confused when I would look at my list from my department of all the accounts that we had, and I would see all of these sponsored projects that start with a FOPL number of a 200 something. And then I would also have this list of RIAs and not having a clear understanding. So I just kind of wanted to break that down for you just to be helpful, just because I remember it so deeply and so well. When a faculty member or someone in your department receives an award, Augusta, do you have the breakdown? Like if this much money is received from an award, this much would be given to your RIA if they meet that?
Yeah, so you're talking about the submit program?
Yes, that would go into the RIA account.
Okay. Yep.
Just a little helpful information.
So as I said, the submit program is one of many that deposits money into the RIAs, and submit is an incentive program for submitting a proposal. And so this is the breakdown of a request. Then on this other column, you can, if you follow the proposal submission policy, you can receive a small incentive.
So just wanted to give this example. I had a faculty member that brought in $100,000 from a sponsor. They got $500 into their RIA account. And I was just a little confused on, do I talk to my grant manager to make sure that I'm following all of the sponsor rules for that $100,000 for the $500 as well? And so I just wanted to communicate that when following the RIA rules, you're really just following Ball State's expenditure rules, and then this wonderful website that Augusta has put together on RIA will great FAQs, great information on how to spend that money it's truly a great resource. And so when they send those emails out on a monthly basis, that link will be there to help also guide just how to spend RIA funds. So you don't have to follow sponsor rules. If the federal government gives $100,000, those rules do not apply to the $500 for the RIA account.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah.
So now I will stop sharing. If I hit the right button, stop sharing and open it up for questions. If you want to raise your hands with the little hand guy, you can do that, or just unmute and ask away.
I have a question. This is
Yeah.
Carly from the Honors College. On the use authorization form, is that something you fill out every time you're going to deposit to RIAs? Or is it a one-time only thing?
Great
And
question.
if it's an ongoing program, and if we've been doing it, do we need to submit one of these?
Great question. It's a one-time thing per year. We will prompt every, I'm going to say calendar year, but you know, this is an evolving situation. Every calendar year, we do want you to say like, yes, this is a continuing program and we would still like to deposit money into the accounts. Yes, if you have been putting money into RIAs because of a program, we do ask that you reauthorize in December. And so I had sent an email to everybody that I knew was putting money in. But if you want to continue doing that, please do fill that out just so that we have your contact information.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, this is really open question time. Any question?
I guess
I
so.
have-
This is
Oh, go
Jackie.
ahead, sorry.
Oh, yes.
I
Jackie.
have a question about when the funds are reclaimed, if they're unspent, do they go back? Do you all keep them in SPA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They are reinvested into the incentive programs.
But again, we do not take any funds back without or giving prior notification that, okay, give me a date, I'll give you a date, you tell me when, if you're going to use it, if you're not, if I don't hear by that date, I'm pulling the funds back, but we don't pull anything without giving prior notification.
Yes, that's a good point. We do let the person know that there's been no activity, or they're leaving the university, or they've retired and didn't tell us. That was a big one this year. So we let them know, and we don't really want to take money back. We would prefer the money be spent.
I think those balance emails are going to be fantastic for people because otherwise they have no idea what they have. So
Yeah.
it's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Zach Mickler for all of the help that he has given us. It's been wonderful.
And
There
I
was
think, I know we had a person who left the university that had a large account, and that money, at that time, no one understood that could have been moved to someone else prior to that person leaving. So is that still available? Like if somebody has an account, can they move it to another person in the department?
They need to contact me and I will move that to that person. They need to tell us preferably in writing before they walk away from the university. So let's say they're retiring December 31st and they don't tell me till January 2nd, it's too late. They have to tell us before they leave the university what they want done with those funds. We can transfer it to another RIA. It cannot go back to a departmental account. It can only go to another RIA account.
And Linda makes a good point. So yes, that is still available to, transfer funds from someone who is leaving the university or retiring, or transfer it to another person's RIA account. It is an individual incentive, not a departmental incentive. And we, I think that's where we really rely on admins and the directors of finance and budgets. And also that these balance emails will be helpful, because I know that admins aren't always aware of all of the accounts that are in their departments. So just having that there is this account out there, and oh, hey, this person said they're leaving, maybe you should spend your money, or decide what you're going to do with it. Contact Linda, let them know, because we do ask that it is prior to leaving the university.
Augusta, here's a question or a suggestion maybe. Sometimes when people are leaving, they are still working on projects, so they still can keep their RIA even though they're leaving the university. But if they are leaving and they're not working on something, maybe in the balance email, you can add something to that, because I'm not sure that the faculty know that they could, gift, quote unquote, the balance to somebody else. So that I think would be helpful in that email.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. So is it next week? I don't know. Yes, next week on the 14th, I'm having a session for faculty. It's basically all of the same information, just more with the employee in mind. But yes, I can certainly reiterate that after the retire-mageddon that happened over in the summer, there were a number of people who, were going to continue working. And the guidance there was that if they were going to continue working, then they would have up to 1 year after their retirement date to spend those funds down. And we, Linda worked with a number of them, because some of them were just like, no, I just give it to this other person who's my collaborator or whatever. But some of them are still, working on it, and that is to university policy. I believe the finance office said that was, their policy, but we can definitely add that to the email. And please know, as I hope you're getting the sense that this is sort of an evolving situation, and I am open to feedback for how this is being received on your end. I don't want to make your jobs harder or more confusing than they already have been. So, if there is something that, I can't get the email to come to you, but I can definitely add some language that asks them to forward it to you. Other questions?
I had a question about understanding the RIA accounts listed on our general ledger summary reports that we receive from our budget directors.
Okay.
So it lists all of our RIAs, but I've noticed when looking at them that for fiscal year beginning balances, they're negative, and then same with present balances usually, but then on the end it says cash, and then that would be a positive number that's the same as in present balance. So with these numbers that are listed as negative, are these actually like a positive balance that they have in these accounts?
I am going to defer to a finance person, because I do think that it's backwards.
Okay.
If it's the printout that I'm thinking about, if the present balance is in red, that means that the fund is in a deficit. If it's in black and it has minus in front of it, that means it's a positive.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that easy to figure out?
Indeed it is. Thank you for answering.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
I had a question about, I keep a spreadsheet with what I think I know of all of the RIAs that my faculty have. And I just recently sent an email to them requesting that they contact you about their intentions for their accounts. However, I don't believe I was CC'd on any of these messages, so I don't actually know if they did what I've asked them to do. So is there, because you had mentioned earlier that you guys had contacted us, and I have a terrible memory, so I don't remember being contacted, but I probably was. So anyway, my point is there a way to see if you have all the current information that lines up with what I have?
Yes, probably. Now that you say that, so my current process for when they request an exemption is, so it just comes through and it's like a little Microsoft form and it says this has come through. And then I just emailed them back. But I can email, or I can copy you, the admin coordinator, so that you have a copy of that with the date of expiration. Would that also be helpful for the directors of finance and budgets to also receive that?
It would be helpful for
It
me.
wouldn't hurt.
Okay, great. Then I can definitely send what I have already to the department admins and directors of finance and budgets. And we can, so one of the other things that Zach has done that's been super helpful is give us just like a weekly or a bi-weekly, I'm not really sure what the rotation is, but of all of the current balances for these accounts. And so we can work out something so that we can share that with the admins so that you have that at least on a semi-regular basis. Because I know that not all admins receive that general ledger that Alexandria was talking about. So we have about 6 minutes left. What other questions do you have or suggestions? Questions about the program generally, questions about like, how do I, as an admin, check a balance?
I will just share on that wonderful webpage that speaking of that Augusta has shared for admin coordinators. There is a section that just states, how do I find the balance of the research incentive account? It does give great description on just an Argos report as well as a banner screen to find those balances.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't run through the FAQs that are on the page, but on that RIA page down at the bottom, there are a number of FAQs, which include how do I find the balance, that walks you through some things. And then it has been the case that some admins don't actually have access. So I've put in instructions as to how you can put in a help desk ticket to access the finance security that you would need to be able to look up that information. Okay. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of this session, I am recording it. I'm going to record the other session as well for faculty. I think there was a more of a response to this session than there has been to the other one, which was great. But I will take these things into account and make adjustments. And then my plan is to continue having these kind of check-in sessions about RIAs, you know, each semester as we can, because I know, like, I want to check in with you all and make sure that whatever we're putting in place is actually functioning and helpful as we go forward. So if there are no additional questions, then I will stop talking and let you go on about your day. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was great to meet you. Great to see you. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.